Happy full moon! Happy full moon! Happy full moon! Should we wait? I guess. I'm going to use my own deck for this transmission, I think. Also, let's clear the air in here a little bit. It's definitely a beautiful day in London, in Kent. It's not been raining. Well, raining a little bit. We've still got a bit of clouds, so I wonder if the clouds will clear in time for this full moon this evening. I'm hoping it will. Well, it's around 5 o'clock, so I think it looks quite good. We've got a chance of let's clear the energy in here. We've got a good chance of a clear sky, I think. So welcome, guys. It is the full moon. And I think a lot of us have been looking for, if you're a Virgo, and I think you've been following me for a while, you'll understand that this is definitely a very, very important time, not only for Virgos, but for the collective in whole. I've got the High Priestess here. I love this deck. This is the Gustav Klimt Tarot deck. This deck is my own personal deck. I don't generally mix and match my decks, but I think because it's a Virgo full moon, it would be quite nice to use a deck that's really personal to me. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Very good to see you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have for this full moon the High Priestess. The High Priestess. How much power is in this card? And I think it would be nice for us to use this card for the weekend, just as the general energy. Now, I say that this is an important full moon because if we look at the zodiac cycle, we're now in Pisces season. So we've traveled through all of the 11 other signs. Where we're at now is the beginning point. It's just the peak point of this new beginning. We have Mercury going out of retrograde tomorrow, which is significant also. We're in 2020. Hi, everyone. We're in 2020. Last year was quite difficult, I think, for a lot of people, generally because we had, it was a 9-year, closing out the cycle, being confronted, I think, by a lot of really difficult situations with that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio also, which would have brought out a lot of really like the end of situations coming into now 2020 and this full moon. It's almost like the restart. It's the doors open onto this new situation. I think the energy of this full moon is in a yang year, in a rat year, which is quite masculine energy. This full moon is that one feminine interlude where we can really channel into this High Priestess energy, this quality of looking at, right, okay, so we've come to the end of things. We now are at a point where we decide, how do we proceed forward? What are we going to take this? Hello, everyone. How are we going to take this energy of Pisces season, having gone through all of that last decade, all of the emotional stuff that came with it, that Pisces, that Scorpio Mercury retrograde that brought everything up. And then this Pisces Mercury retrograde, which is really about closing up the cycle. Things as we move past this cycle, as Mercury comes out of retrograde now and it stands still for the next 2 weeks or so, this is that moment. This is out of the gate. This is that rawness, that vulnerability, the new cycle. Everything needs to be looked at with a new eye. But before we get to do that, even, we really have to think, I think, about how the way things were going before really were not leading us to contentment, like over consumerism, and a lot of the stuff that 2020 really started off with, like a lot of catastrophes happening around the world. If we can use our High Priestess energy and really channel into how the world or how the earth is reacting to us at this point. There's a lot of cues in that, and how we decide to then use that energy and move forward. And this full moon is this point forward where we're really having to look at ourselves, really having to take accountability of who we are, what we're doing, how we're going about it. Virgo is so the sign of truth. It's that transition from childhood into teenage years. And there is that moment of unsurety of our own power, of our, like, unsure of what we're doing here. Although we are a sign of service, service bonds people. This Virgo full moon is about us bonding everything together, taking this energy of darkness, this dark, heavy winter where it was, what was it, the fires, and then the viruses and all these deaths and plagues and dark energy. This full moon is Virgo energy. It is that lamp. It is bringing the lightness to this really dark situation that we've been going through. The high priestess energy to this, it's telling us this fear, this resentment, this guilt, this anger really needs us to take our knowledge, our knowing, the compassion, that even a relationship with God, which is so frowned upon nowadays, which I think is crazy. It's things that empower us to create bonds and create links and overcome a lot of catastrophes, a lot of things that are like, that are, you know, that you're right. Yes. Taking accountability. We are here. Pisces season is not a solo sign. This is such a full moon of just becoming very aware of ourselves. You know, Virgo is the solo. It is the genius that travels into the mountain. And if we look at Leo sign, the sign of Leo before Virgo, it's transmissioning from a sign that loves to be part of the pack, loves to be a leader, has to very much be part of the collective. The fire is the drama, you know, it is bringing life to the collective. Virgo transitions, or the zodiac transitions from that into Virgo, which is taking that fire, that light that he's gained from the collective, moving up and facing solitude. You know, it goes from the fire to the air. It's the being, the matter of being, the matter of us, who we are, transitioning into that sky, the air region. And from there, how we face ourselves, how solitude can lead to insanity, but how facing the unsurety and the darkness of ourselves, how we then use that to transmute, and how we then use that to bring love, you know, creativity, knowledge of ourselves, and turn that, transmute that into intellect, how we then practically apply that. This full moon for us has, for me personally, has been a moment for us to really, really look at what we're doing here, why we're here, what we can do to make it better, what we can do to use this Mercury retrograde energy, which was all very much about closing out cycles and start again in this Aries phase, you know, raw, like children, actually feeling compassion for each other, for even our immediate relationships. Mercury retrograde has been a time where a lot of stuff has come out about ourselves emotionally and about those around us. I think as it comes out of retrograde now, there's got to be an element of how we apply that knowledge and are quite present with it. So if things are bothering us, how we're communicating on it, how we tend to our needs, and how we then love others by tending to theirs. I think there is an element of codependence to it, but Aries is very much, I need your love, you know? And it's a part of the zodiac cycle, having closed out everything that we've closed out and move into this new phase. We've got to be very honest with ourselves. We all need love. This full moon, I guess, this transmission, I guess all of it is so that we can generate enough love energy and celebrate. You know, we need that. We need this fire. We need something to create a passion within us. I don't know if you guys followed the weekly tarot. And for this weekly tarot, we had the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, fire. There's got to be a lot of fire. There's got to be a lot of passion to this full moon. And I think with the High Priestess here, a lot of turning what we knew into acceptance for each other, for ourselves, forgiving those around us. Accept, transmute, turn it into light, turn it into gratitude. What do we have here? The Knave of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Look how beautiful these decks are. So this Knave of Cups, this Page of Cups has come up in Virgo's new, what was it? Virgo's 2020 reading. It also came up in the February reading, I think it was. And then again in the March one, I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this Knave of Cups, for me, it's invitation. And I think, Virgo, if for a very long time, and I think since your birthday, when all of the planets were in your sign, you may have gone through a cocooning phase, and it may have meant a lot of solitude. It may have meant a lot of hermiting. It may have meant a lot of using this winter for a bit of solitude and retreat. If you guys have been doing the internal work, I think you'll come out of at this full moon as this Queen of Pentacles, no doubt. This Page of Cups is really important to Virgo, I think, and especially for this full moon if he decided to make an appearance today. The Page of Cups is water energy. It's really fluid. It's transitional. It can be volatile, but it is fun. It is cleansing. It is soothing. It is energetic. There is a natural flow, a natural understanding of oneself to it. Not taking things so seriously, not letting oneself be pinned down. For this full moon, I think the active advice for all of us would be to be more proactive in ourselves. Don't take things too seriously, be a bit more fluid in our actions. Love is the basis of it. In his cup, he comes forward with love. So this is all about invitations of love. This is all about coming outside of that cocoon phase, coming outside of that sheltered solitude retreat, that meditative state, and moving forward now into a more exciting, adventurous, open-hearted, wearing our heart on our sleeve kind of identity to this new phase, to this new part of the journey. Page of Cups for me also is water energy, which I think in Pisces season is the right kind of energy. We can take this full moon and maybe feel a lot lighter. We can take this full moon and maybe drown our sorrows a little bit. We've got 2 weeks before Mercury is going direct again, which I think is fantastic, because if we take this next 2 weeks and accept that it's transitory, nothing that we do, nothing that we say right now, nothing is going to stick. It's a great time to really get in tune with that flowy energy. Be places that you haven't been, do things you haven't, take chances, take the invitations, even put out the invitations. Let go of a lot of the baggage. You are almost born afresh after this full moon. You've got 2 weeks now until we get into things going full steam ahead again. Bonds, creating bonds, looking at pessimistic situations as opportunities for growth. What can you learn from it? What can you develop yourself from it with? And where does that then lead you? The link is in creating links. The Queen of Pentacles to come out today for me is fantastic. Should I go back to an ex? The question, is he honest? Really? No, they're exes for a reason. There's so much to look forward to. Why would you go back? So much to look forward to. And this full moon is this saying bye-bye to what was, saying goodbye to the cycles that we knew. I will definitely post this, definitely. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles, foundations, money, the tangibles. How do we apply all of that to this new energy? Looks like the eye still needs to be on the prize. And I don't think there's any shame in, but I've tried breaking up so many times this week and he isn't letting go. But his words don't match his actions. That sounds like you're giving your precious life force energy away for no reason, honey. You need to like get aligned this full moon. Sorry. High Priestess. This isn't someone who, sorry, not even the High Priestess, even the High Priestess. Power cards here. Women, women, women. For all the ladies that are in here, connect to your divine feminine this full moon. Get very much aligned with your root chakra. Go straight into your sacral. Heal that womb space, because it seems as if there are a lot of loose ends that need tying up. And if you are feeling unsurety, that goes all the way into the core of who you are, which is your sacral chakra, which is your root chakra. Let's do some active meditation on being secure in ourselves before we're even looking for love. This is the other thing. This Queen of Pentacles, she is not like, she does not need that energy of needing and then getting involved in energetic mismatch connections where you're part of these codependent situations, or you're part of this like real codependent situations where a lot of it is playing on your neuroses. Accountability and using this full moon, this very practical grounded full moon, to say, right, okay, this is not me using my energy in the best way. Creating something healthy and happy, and actually understanding what healthy and happy is and defining what healthy and happy means for you first is perhaps a better point of view. This time, this phase is a culmination. It is cycles ending out. You have a choice at this point. Do I move forward and create a more healthy future for myself? Or do I linger in situations that are leading with my heart and not necessarily with my head? There are all sorts of things that are happening in the world right now. Calamity after calamity after calamity. Creating toxicity within mismatched bonds is just adding to the toxicity. We need to take accountability for the things that we are doing every single day. Every single day. And if that is partaking in situations that we know are not for the betterment of us, or creating the kind of energy that puts us in a situation where we're putting the best of us out there for the rest of the world, we're wasting our time, guys. It's like you're really wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. Get in your goddess energy. Get in your High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles energy. Find the power that you seem to be giving away unnecessarily and do something for your life with it. That power that you are giving away for free, unnecessarily, to somebody who seems very like immature, does not even know what they want. How could anyone want to give something that they, this is also the problem. When you're not spending enough nurturing, taking care of yourself, loving on yourself enough, you are an advocate for like everybody else. Don't love me, don't take care, like don't take care of me because I don't do it for myself. This all comes down to your root chakra. This all comes down to how much love you have for yourself. The Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess. How much love, how much are you putting your self-worth at? Dodged a bullet, absolutely. Ladies, look, High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles, you are the vessels. You are the vessels of life. You are the creation point. You create. God chose women to be the connection point between what he decided to bring down here and actually bringing it down here. You are so important, ladies. Knowledge comes from you. Creation comes from you. Love comes from you. If you are not nurturing yourselves, if you are not valuing yourselves as that, how do you expect anybody else to like attracts like? That's simple like physics, right? You have to spend a lot more time loving on yourself. You have to spend a lot more time understanding the dynamics of toxic bonds. You need to spend a lot more time protecting yourself. Claiming your power. Please claim your power. Cutting negative energy cords. And you know, the best way to cut negative energy cords is to cleanse your own energy and cut a lot of your own negative habits. What's that? That's where I'm at. I need to see actions. If you say you're sorry and that you're different, then thank you. Thank you. You need to see it. Give yourself that time and celebrate the things that make you and allow someone to come to you. You know, when we're in that space where we understand that we are divine creatures, the way that God made us, and it's really quite, it's a tragedy that there are not enough people in the world that advocate for this. We have been made in God's perfect creation, right? We are absolutely perfect the way we are here. We do not need to change anything about ourselves. And unfortunately, as children even, we're not taught the importance of self-love. We're not given the tools to love ourselves as much as we need to. And it's not deliberate sometimes. It can be just because of a lack of knowledge from our parents or their parents, whatever. We are, as we come into adulthood, however, responsible for the amount of self-love that we give ourselves. As women in this time, in this era where there are so many threats to our well-being, our safety, our position of how we choose to treat our bodies, please take care of yourselves. As Virgos, and this full moon highlights how important self-love, how important self-care is, because it is from those places. He feels like an addiction. That means there needs to be rehab. Addictions are not good. They need to be transmuted. They need to be healed. You need to go back to where it stems from. See what is missing in your own experience, in your own heart, that's making you draw in a situation that might not necessarily be for your best interest. It's always important to protect your energy and your space, but it's important to understand why you're doing it. When you can take care of your fear, when you can take care of your anger, when you can take care of your resentment and see it for what it is, you put yourself in a situation to heal. This full moon, Virgos naturally are healers. What is that? A unique way of learning to love yourself. Yes, absolutely. Astrology is definitely that, and tarot. Yes, thank you. Please all like, share, and subscribe. So, using this fear, using this time of a lot of fear mongering, a lot of ripples, I think, are being created, and it's quite widespread. Drawing in the power that we can by fixing our energies up. And I keep saying it, it's starting at the root chakra. It's going all the way from the very core of who you are, getting that realigned and understanding that the safety that we wish to create can only be created if we are to take accountability for ourselves, if we're to take the time to celebrate what we've done and use that celebration, that positive energy to plan forward. How can we now move forward in creating a more positive time for us? This full moon, you are what you attract. Like, what you attract is what you are. Like attracts like. Okay? So make sure that you're putting out the right energy. If we are cleansing our energy, there's a lot of things that we can do. You've got to be proactive in doing them, however, and a little bit of belief in yourself and a little bit of, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be here. You know, it can do us a lot of good. This full moon is supposed to be a time where we can be grateful. I think with the Queen of Pentacles and the High Priestess energy, there's a lot of self-love in there. And I think a lot of letting go of what is not really necessary also. How is everyone celebrating this full moon? What are we all doing? So Mars is in Capricorn, and with Mars being in Capricorn, there's been a lot of focus and emphasis on work, I think. And I think a lot of fear amongst money and creating money has been, okay, look at these cards, guys. So we have here the Lovers card, the World, and the Ace of Swords. So, where should we start? This is a really nice reading so far. Okay. The World card. We very easily come full circle. End of one cycle, moving forward into a new one. Let bygones be bygones. There are a lot of things that need to be cleared. Energetic cords that need to be cut. Situations where you know that you may have been holding yourself back. It was good, because whatever you learned in that phase, pushing yourself forward now will be excellent, because you've got a link forward. With the World card, there needs to be more of a focus on getting centered also. If there is something that you wish to create and manifest this year, use this full moon and use it as in quite a practical way, I'd say. Doing the mood boards, writing out the wish lists, doing even practical magic like candle magic, drawing even some tarot cards as to things that you wish to see. I would definitely say this is definitely the time to get more practical in creating what you wish to see. There are definitely cycles closing out. For pregnancies, it's springtime. Congratulations to everybody who is expecting. This is so lovely. But the World card is the hope for possible births of creation, right? This is a time for protecting what we hold valuable to us. The World card is suggesting that we close out certain cycles properly and move forward into the future, move into what is new. This is definitely the beginning of a new journey. It's the beginning of a new cycle. And you've got to see whether you've built up the stamina and you have the endurance now to take the energy of this full moon, which is practical energy, which is very connecting with the divine feminine, using intuition, using wisdom, a bit of solitude, a bit of recluse, using that energy, channeling it into pushing forward in the best way for yourself. The Lover's energy. Card of Gemini. For me, this is quite an important card. It is definitely the card of partnerships, soulmates, and love, for sure. But it's also consolidating the light and dark within us. I think this full moon and the run up to this full moon and this 2-week shadow phase should potentially give us a really nice time to finally come to certain conclusions of matters that have been taking place in our lives. Things that would have been going on that we may have been unsure about, people we may have been unsure about, relationships, business partnerships, projects. That doubt, that lingering doubt, I feel with the World card, something has definitely come full circle. And whatever's come full circle now, your responsibility in this is to bring the confusion, the light and the dark, consolidate that. Once you're in unison, I think with the Ace of Swords, you've got a new beginning. It's a cut in the energy. It's the momentum that you've been working on, but the trick here is to step into your power. The Ace of Swords is it's like a symbol of good luck. It's like if you needed the confidence, if you weren't sure about your decision, the love, the harmony, the union, consolidate yourself first. And then I think partnerships or new projects will definitely fall into place. This full moon is also a really good time, I think, to call in soulmates. I think there's a lot of soulmate stories going on. A lot of soulmate stories that are taking place at the moment. So I've got this picture in my living room, and it always makes me think of such a divine kind of love. And do you see how the male is predominantly overpowering the feminine? The masculine is overpowering the feminine, but it's not even in an offensive way. Can you see it? There's a lot of love that's being generated between the two. Now, going back to these toxic relationships that we were talking about, when a card like this comes up, I think it's really important for us to bear in mind this card isn't for toxic relationships. This card is absolutely not for short relationships that have a lot of shortfalls and a lot of shortcomings. Those are ego-based relationships. This kind of love is available when we're okay with ourselves, when we love ourselves, when there is that harmony within ourselves. And I think when you're in this place, finding this energy, it's as lovely as this picture. There's never a complaint. There's never any lack. There's never any shortfall. Do not fall for anything less than anything that makes you feel like this. Because when you have this, and when this is what's worth waiting for. This is what life is all about. This is the divine partnership. Anything else is to be cut. Anything less, anything that doesn't even match, anything that does not even touch needs to be cut right now. All toxic bonds, all toxic situations need to be cut. This is definitely a time where I think someone is, hold on a second. Okay, so this Page of Cups, the more opportunities that we're open to, and that does mean getting out and getting about and being less hermity. The more of that goes on, I think this full moon opens up a lot of doors for you. And I think once the shift happens, you're going to have to get quite present. So free yourself of any pain, Six of Swords, getting away from all troubles. The synchronicity of both masculine and feminine is the alignment that's needed, absolutely. So here we go. Six of Swords. That's moving. This is definitely transitioning. This is going from one state of being, Virgo, into another. And it is how open and how free and how willing we are to take the wisdom, take the knowledge, take what it is that we've learned, move forward in rounding up and being quite open to exploring what is new. There's got to be a cut, a real severing of ties of what was before you can set yourself free. And I think you've definitely got a lot to be grateful for, Virgo. And I think the celebration that you've been waiting for, this full moon, is a lot in how you accept your own power and how inspired you are feeling and how you exert your energy. There's been a lot gained and there's definitely been stuff lost. And whatever's been lost, I think you can trust that it is definitely over. And the order, if you do that Virgo thing and create the order out of the absolute chaos that was 2019 and a lot of its remnants. A lot of beautiful things, I think, can grow from this time. And it is about sowing the seeds. And it is about getting inspired. And it is about being motivated, which absolutely means always right foot forward. Cycles have closed out. The forgiveness, the hard work, all of it's been done. Two of Swords, consolidating ourselves with this Piscean energy on this full moon. The battles that you've had to go through, the things that had to be confronted, the real truth, the real getting to know of oneself. Do you see it's a struggle? And yeah, we've taken losses. Hell yeah, we've taken losses. But ultimately, it's been part of our perfection. And the only losses Virgo ever takes is because you are perfectionists. And any less than perfect will not do. And you can lie to yourself and tell yourself that, yeah, it can do. It's never going to do. And I think it will always feel like you are unhappy, discontent, when you know that what you're doing is genuinely not in true alignment with who you are. It's always going to feel like it's not. You won't feel right. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but you know what I mean. You're perfectionists. You have to step into your power now. Own the fact that you have high standards. But that's nothing to be like angry at yourself over. Just be angry at yourself if you're accepting less than you're supposed to accept. Don't ever accept less than you're supposed to accept. And I do think personally, if you are used to holding yourself back, if you're used to really battling yourself, analysis paralysis, if you're really disabling your progress because of the clutter, the chaos that's going on in your mind, this full moon, get in your power. And I say it, and I'm going to keep saying it, it's got to start in the root chakra. So do some root chakra meditations, which are all available on YouTube. I love YouTube. This is such a wonderful platform for us to literally find the answer to anything in the whole wide world. How lucky are we? It's free education. There is nothing for you to battle yourself over anymore. If anything, there is, Virgo, a reason for you to consolidate. I think this full moon this Mercury retrograde would have forced a lot of people to grow. It would have forced a lot of people out of a lot of comfort zones. A lot of comfort zones. But what is the point of all of this if we're not pushing ourselves? What is the point of all of this if we're not exploring who we are, at least? What's around us, at least? To break out of, the rut. This full moon is to break out of the rut. And you know what? Soon there will be flowers everywhere. And it's just a reminder that we are constantly surrounded by abundance. I think this card wants to come out. Ooh, hello. Hello. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups. I can't get over how beautiful these cards are. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Dun, dun, dun. Three of Swords. Oh, Three of Swords. Analysis, paralysis, paranoias, and the such. Okay, I've just given you guys a whole speech about how you need to consolidate yourself and how you need to be your best wingman. And then we have the Three of Swords. This stuff needs to be healed. Okay, I'm going to have a quiet moment. We're going to have a quiet moment. Let's get really... Pisces season, higher intuition, crown chakra. Inevitably, a lot of awareness as to sensitivities. The High Priestess, as such, yes. Three of Swords isn't necessarily afflictions, heartaches that we're having to face right now. And even if we are, it's stemming back to a time, probably between the age of 1 to 7. Something may have happened back then that's triggering certain responses in you now. This full moon and coming out of this Mercury retrograde, these 2 last weeks, cry whatever this hurt was, whatever these things that you've been putting behind you, ignoring, it's not important, I need to carry on forward, I need to plug on, I need to be the Queen of Pentacles, I need to be all of these things for everybody and everyone. Whatever this is, heal it. I find, personally, for me, if I really want to heal something, I will cry my eyes out about it. I will just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry until it's out of my system. And then once I know I can't cry anymore, once I've given myself that afternoon or that day or the week or whatever it is to just cry about it, I'll get it out of my system. And it's so simple to say little things such as, right, I've given this thing the due time that it needs. And give yourself the due time that it needs. But once you've done that, to turn around and be like, thank you for teaching me or giving me the opportunity to learn something from you. But I now release you. You are now away from me. You are now gone. It is as simple as saying that one little mantra, that one little prayer, that one little release to set yourself free from whatever this is. Because the longer you hold on to it, it will hurt. It will always hurt. You do yourself a massive justice by healing it, by pulling out the sword, by not letting it be a wound. You're taking the power away from it and returning the power back to yourself. Something very obviously needs to be healed from the past, and you need to be very honest with yourself about healing it. And it needs to go away once and for all, because once this is wrapped up, you are absolutely free to move forward into a next situation. You are very much free to be more assertive, to align with your greater happiness. Respecting the free will of an ex or others, even if it was not what you wanted, is the freedom to heal and accept what is. Thank you, Chai Adams. That is so on point. It is exactly true. Everybody is entitled to live as they wish, to do what they want, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or involving anyone in some real toxic nastiness. Everybody is free to be happy. That's what we're here for. Being happy. How many times do you have to cry and heal? Get the lesson away. Learn the lesson, get the energy off you, and move forward into pursuing things like the Ace of Pentacles. This time does promise a lot of financial gain, a lot of abundance, a lot of reward, but this is an energy that one has to channel into. If these swords are here, the pain is far too distracting to focus on anything that leads to abundance or leads to emotional well-being, shall we say, Queen of Cups, and leaves us at this rather frightening. Let's look at this. Insight on the high vibrational energies of today is nurture, 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 nurture. Queen of Cups, High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles. This is all the self-care that one needs to do moving forward. High feminine energy, divine feminine, goddess feminine energy. Lovers, sacred lovers need to be honored. If you are in a relationship with someone who loves you, takes care of you, cooks for you, cleans for you, and just tells you how fantastic you are, you thank them and you mirror that. This is what life is all about. This is the delicious part of life that we're trying to get to. But that is consolidating oneself first before even opening up the channels of finding someone who can match that energy in us. And when they do, it's so divine. It's so beautiful. Woo! I think, guys, the key point for us to focus on before we wrap this up, we have some tea. Cleansing our energy. So important to cleanse our energy. Heal what it is that needs healing very truthfully, not superficially, and not let that hurt manifest into something else that makes us act in funny ways. Let's not do that. Let's really heal things properly. Go from the root chakra. Let ourselves know in this time of fear mongering, in this time of constant hate and all sorts of like divides and all this weirdness, we really have to love each other so much right now. We can love other people only after we love ourselves. So the self-love needs to come. This channeling into this divine feminine energy and understanding that there are cycles that have closed, new cycles that do want to move forward. Ace of Pentacles, that abundance is there if we need it. The voice will come, the truth will come also if we are to take this energy and channel it and let it be the energy of us. The truth, the honesty, and doing exactly that, abiding by the structure of that. Situations that want to move forward once we have consolidated ourselves from things that hold us in dysfunctional states of being. This is a matter of consciousness. Surrender. This present moment, this energy has come with such a powerful impact. This is Aries energy. As the new cycle starts up again, it is head first, straight, pow, pow, pow. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is vulnerable, honest love. And this is the place that we are now transitioning into. Page of Cups, however, we all need to remember the energy is fluid. You need to be fluid. Don't be so rooted right now. Be very accepting, very open in the love, very giving of love as well as absorbing love. Take the love in and heal yourself also. It is not all about giving the love away. It is about receiving the love, allowing ourselves to be healed. But the focus for the next while is on the collective. The focus is on the invitations of love that we can give out, and then seeing what it is that we can return back. The very first card that I pulled, ladies and gentlemen, today was the card of the High Priestess. And this is the energy that I think we should stay on in this full moon. It is a time for retrospection. It is a time for coming to conclusions. It is a time for controlling our energy, of controlling our vibrations. It is a time of, intuition, wisdom, knowledge, all of those very ethereal almost concepts. It is not outside of us. It is part of us. Our energy, I think if we are to collect it and align it and then connect with other people, so that this is how soul tribes are made. This is how soul families are created. This is how bonding that we were talking about earlier, this is how that happens. This is how the channels for connecting to the soulmates happen. This is magic time. Potent magic, potent. So much magic right now. Queen of Cups, self-care. There is an emphasis on money here, guys. Mars is in Capricorn. This is money energy. This is the GOAT energy. This is going out to get to the top energy. Let's use that before Mars goes into Aquarius on the 30th, which is the end of the month, which should be us out of the shadow phase by that point. Go and get this money, guys. This is a frequency. This is a vibration. The world needs you. We all need each other. This is perfect timing. 2020, Mercury comes out retrograde. Woo! Truth. 3 of Swords. Please consolidate yourself, guys. No more hurt. No more hurt. No more hurt. This isn't the time for hurt now. This is the time for just going with it. potent soulmate relationship energy. Call in your love. Call in the real love. Call in the true love. And true love does not come like with a checklist of six-pack or pretty face. That's not, no. Mm-mm. Soulmate comes with the checklist of will have my back regardless of anything. Will think of me before they think of themselves. That's soulmate energy. And we need to be that. We need to totally create that within ourselves. But you can only do that once you believe in yourself. And let's get back to innocence. Virgo full moon, innocence, purity. Let's get back to it. We've got so much to do. And it's exciting times. We've got great things to do. And like, we've spent a lot of time inside, in here, you know, fear, scared. Let's not be scared anymore. Let's heal. Let's heal others. Let's be healed. Let's just love. If there were friendships that had fallen apart, forgive. You don't need to be part of bad energy anymore because, like, the lessons learned, protection of one's energy is pretty much all we need. Protect your energy, send the other person love, move on. There are new horizons to see. I think that's all I have for you guys. This was so much fun. Oh my God, so much energy. I'm going to be exhausted now for the next 2 days. So if we have a reading, I'm sorry. But this is always so much fun. Thank you guys for joining me. Please love each other. Please love yourself. Let's take this energy of corona and fear and scared and turn it into just love, okay? Please, let's love each other. There's so much love in the Virgo family. You guys show me so much love that I just forget everything. All the bad thing that ever happened, all the bad things. Please, let's just live in this. This is the love that we need to generate within ourselves every day because there are people that need that love. This earth, Virgo is earth. We need to generate that love. So we keep this earth going for us, for our kids, for our kids, our grandkids, kids. Do it for the purity, the innocence. Do it for us, okay? Do it for us. Have a beautiful full moon. Once again, dance, celebrate, drink, be merry, take care of yourselves, love each other, okay? Thank you so much. And I shall catch you guys in Aries season now, okay? I love you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.